Hey everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome back to another Out of the Theater in My Car review. Haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought I would do it for definitely this film. Just got out of Silent Night, Deadly Night, the remake, and I wish I had stayed home. For the most part, the theater was empty. Two other people came in like right when the movie began, a couple. And, so there's three of us. And then when we left, it was silent, when the three of us left. This is a very disappointing movie, but I kind of expected it anyways. One, sorry for the quality. I'm filming this at 11 o'clock at night in my car. So does this help at all? Well, there we go. Okay, hold on. There we go. That's better. Okay. So, I'll have to do that next time. I never thought of turning on my car light. This is also, I saw this at my local, AMC theater, and Silent Night, Deadly Night was kind of like right in the middle of, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and Zootopia 2. And it's like the theater was filled with kids who I'm guessing probably went to go see Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And nobody was in Silent Night, Deadly Night. I was worried about this film from the very beginning, from the get-go, when they basically announced something like 10 years ago that they were going to do a remake, and it was going to be, I'm probably, exaggerating with the time frame there, but it was a while back, and they were going to do a more faithful adaptation, like remake, more to be like the original Silent Night, Deadly Night. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, that could be okay. And I am a fan, just to let everybody know, if you don't know me very well, I am a massive Silent Night, Deadly Night fan. I even have like a little shrine at home. I have the Scream Factory poster up for Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's framed. Right below it is the Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 poster framed. And then I have a shelf, and it has the two figures from Parts 1 and 2 from Scream Factory, and all the movies on Blu-ray. I also got DVD. And then I have some like 8x10s up on my wall from the movies. I do have a big poster that's signed by Ricky, that says, Garbage Day. I have that framed. So, I'm a big fan, and I've seen at least the first two many, many times, and, love them. My two films, AXEMAS 1 and 2, basically, if Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Scream did not exist, I probably wouldn't have made those films. So, I'm a big fan, and this scared me from the second that I started hearing about it. One, it has the guy who plays Corey from Halloween Ends. Which is fine, as I'm sure he's a nice guy and he's not a bad actor, but he's pretty much just playing Corey again. And of course, he meets the girl who's weird, and they have the immediate, oh, by the way, there may or may not be spoilers in this, I'm not really sure. But, they meet, and she's all weird, and they get along and instantly have a relationship and have sex. By the way, the lack of nudity that is in this film is very concerning for being a Silent Night, Deadly Night movie. And there's just, it has nothing to do with the original movie at all. Nothing. I mean, it's a Santa Claus. He kills people with an axe, and that's about it. There's two references that I found to Black Christmas, one reference to Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, but that's about, there's one to Silent Night, Deadly Night, because we get the antlers, that's in the trailer, so that's not spoiling anything. But it literally has nothing to do with the original movie. This has as much to do with the original Silent Night, Deadly Night as the newest Black Christmas has anything to do with the original Black Christmas. They try to be shocking in this. It doesn't really work. They try to be funny. It doesn't really work. It says from the producers of, Terrifier 3, there's some scenes are gory, some aren't, some are off screen. I was expecting, if you're going to put on there, you know, from the producers of Terrifier 3, that you would be a lot more edgy, more violent, more gross out. No, it just kind of felt like just a regular kind of hard R movie. There is a voice, and it's in the trailer, so that Billy has in it, where it's just Venom. That's all it is that there's a voice that sounds like Venom that is leading Billy to these killings. And it could be supernatural, it could be an alien, we don't really know. It seems to jump from person to person, kind of with like electricity. And that to me was really annoying. Why can't we just have a Killer Santa movie? Why do we have to have this other stuff going along with it? It just does not work. It doesn't. It kind of reminded me of My Bloody Valentine 3D, the remake, where even though I enjoyed that film and I own it, it's certain things in there are so forced to do something different. So it just doesn't, you know, rip off the original movie completely, that what they do different doesn't work. And in this, that's what they do. It doesn't work. The stuff with the grandpa at the beginning doesn't work. There's creepy stuff with Billy's girlfriend, his love interest in it, who's the actress from Happy Death Day, who's the nurse who ends up being the killer in that. She's in this, and Billy starts working at kind of like this gift shop that the father-daughter own. He basically gets attracted to the daughter gets attracted to him. They end up fucking, and we basically have Halloween Ends. And the dad who runs the store, it's weird, is Billy is checking his daughter's ass out, just kind of watching her, and the dad is like, I don't know, like grooming him to be with his daughter, like she's some old spinster who will never get married, and he's like, oh yeah, she's something special, ain't she? And it's like, I don't know, man, if I saw some weirdo who I've only known for a day, you know, I fucking my daughter, I would probably fire his ass and kick his ass. But there's also the Incredible Hulk is kind of in this in a way too, because when Billy and the voice Charlie, they go from town to town, and when they end up, when people kind of start wondering what's going on, they leave. They go to a new town. Well, which is kind of like what the Hulk did, right? He goes to one town, he fights the baddies, then he moves on to the next town, fights the baddies, moves on. So there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of Frailty, that Matthew McConaughey film with, Bill Paxton, which is a great movie. There's that in this. There's, I'm surprised, I don't remember the girlfriend's name, but I'm very surprised that they didn't call her Ricky, you know, which Ricky Lake. So I guess you could name a girl Ricky, why not? And have her be in the sequel, you know, named Ricky. So that, you know, like her name's Rachel or something, and they call her Ricky. But it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I, being an idiot, will most likely buy it on Blu-ray. Hopefully it will come out uncut or a director's cut or something. And because they do mimic scenes or like camera shots from the original movie. So they were trying. They want it to feel kind of like a 1970s film with like the credits. And then whenever somebody gets killed, there's a credit that comes up that says like, kill Susan, something like that. And then it like freeze frames. So they're trying to do something. And, to make it interesting and unique, and some of the camera angles are okay. it just doesn't, I don't know, Billy is out killing bad people, but, and of course they even steal a line from True Lies, where Jamie Lee Curtis says to Schwarzenegger, she's like, you kill people? And he goes, only the bad ones. They basically steal that line and put it in this movie, where the girlfriend says, do you kill people? And he goes, well, I only kill the bad ones. Well, yeah, it was hilarious in True Lies, but it's not hilarious in this. So, God, it's just, there's so much stuff in this, and I don't want to fully talk about everything in it. There are Nazis in it, which was kind of weird, but I guess you're just trying to make stuff weird. It's almost an anti-gun movie in a way, because he refuses to use a gun, even though Ricky does in Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. But Billy in the first movie only uses the axe or some things that are around him. So I'm not too sure about that. I'm not sure if it's kind of a anti-gun movie or not, or they were just trying to stick with the original. But it's, I was not a fan. I'm going to be an idiot. I'm going to buy it. I got the posters for all the other movies. I'll probably, like an 11x17. There is a nice 11x17 poster that I probably will pick up and frame and put it next to the other ones. But I don't think this is Black Christmas Bad, the one that came out a couple years ago, which is a film I will never own. This I would own. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it could have been better. So I probably will own it, but in comparison to some other, Christmas Killer Santa, films, it's one that I don't think I would ever watch again. And while I'm watching it, I would have to look up the director, but I kept thinking to myself, like, what would Rob Zombie do with this? Maybe he would. And I'm not a big fan of Rob Zombie's movies, but I was thinking, like, maybe that's what this needs is like a Rob Zombie type of guy to make this, because this just seems so, I don't know, there's nothing really interesting in it filming wise. And for a remake, you would think that you'd put a little bit of pizzazz in it, maybe get some interesting camera angles, and there really wasn't. And it's the stuff between Billy and the daughter, the love interest, is kind of creepy because it immediately happens. Oh, there's a whole subplot, kind of like a Black Phone type of thing, where these kids are being kidnapped and we don't know why. We never understand why. I guess they're just being, I don't know, just human trafficking, I guess. But it's never really brought up. It's never really talked about. It's, I don't know. It's all I can think of is that this was just name that movie. And yeah, they just didn't explain enough. They didn't do enough. It wasn't interesting enough. I think that they could have, it's like an hour and 36 minutes. I think they probably could have gotten a nice 90 minutes if they wanted to. When they were originally putting together the film, I think they probably could have done a really tight 90-minute movie. But I can't really think of stuff that we could cut out from the length of it being now. But it's, I mean, the performances are fine. The blood is okay when it's there. There are some scenes that are very dark. The ending confrontation doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't really answer a lot of things. Which I wish that they would have, but that would have made the movie longer. So, I don't know. overall, I mean, I do give ratings to these things like a 1 to 5. Maybe I would give this a 2 out of 5. Maybe. I mean, I will buy it. And there is a pretty cool looking poster for it, like an 11 by 17 poster. But I don't know. I don't think I would ever watch this again. I really don't. Even in a marathon, I don't think so. I would rather watch the other ones instead. So, yeah, I don't know. Wait till streaming. Don't waste your money. You're just going to be at an empty theater, maybe with one other person. It's not worth it. The picture isn't good enough, you know, like the quality of the picture, and the sound isn't good enough, you know, to experience in a theater. So I would just wait, watch it on streaming, get your surround system going, you know, have your like 60-inch, 65-inch TV, watch it on that, and then that way you could just... I had to pee throughout most of it, about halfway through, and I'm like, I don't want to leave because I'm hoping something will happen, you know, I'm to kind of turn me into liking this movie. So I looked up, are there any mid-credit scenes or after-credit scenes, and Google said no, there's none. You can leave right when the credits come on. So the second it said written and directed by, I was up and out and hitting the restroom. So, which, I don't know, I don't like leaving to go to the restroom anyways during a movie. But I just, for some of these films, I just sit there and I'll be there in pain, hoping that the movie will be better. And it never does. I don't know. There's not going to be a lot of movies I'm going to be seeing in the theater. Even though there were some good trailers at the beginning. But, yeah, I think I could only give this a 2. Maybe the more I think about it, a 1.5, but I don't think I could do this over 2. So it's a 2. All right, everybody, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay, bye.